you certainly need strong calf muscles for performance. So you can make them stronger. They just don't necessarily get aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, and there's definitely ways to optimally train them that maybe not everyone does. But in general, like, it seems like if they're lagging behind for you, it's pretty difficult to bring them up.
That's weird. What a weird body part.
Yeah. It's like one of the worst offenders.
Is there anything else like that? Any other body parts that are like notoriously difficult to train?
That's a good question. Probably, there's probably something that I'm not thinking of. I don't know. Neck, maybe, but that's pretty easy to train, actually. It's just not many people do it.
Well, with neck, you got to be careful, though. I use an iron neck, which I really believe in. It's like the only thing that I've ever done that's strengthened my neck and not caused me any neck problems. Whereas I think those other ones, like, those things where you put like the leather helmet on with the chain.
Yeah.
I think that's an unusual movement for your neck. And I think you could probably get away with. I know a lot of wrestlers, and including Mike Tyson, who fucked their neck up from neck bridges.
Have you seen the F1 drivers' workout routines?
No.
Dude, pull up.
Oh, they would have to have crazy necks.
Oh, yeah. That's like what they do for their training mostly, seemingly.
Oh, you have to have
They're just sitting there with
neck.
like a giant fucking contraption on their head, just like...
Like an iron neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it seems even more intensive. Like it's, let's see.
Yeah, but see, what I'm saying is they're not bending the neck, right? So what they're doing is they're forcing their muscles to stabilize the neck as they're facing resistance, right?
Yeah.
But what they're not doing is bending all the way down and bending all the way up with weight, which I think is what's unusual. And I think that's just a weird strain on the discs. And with a lot of guys, especially wrestlers, where they get strain from is like someone grabbing them with a collar tie and like pulling their head down, and they get it real low, and then they're resisting that. You can fuck your neck up that way, or fighting off a guillotine or a Darce choke or a triangle where you're like really fucked up and distorted and you're resisting against it. You can fuck your neck up. So what the iron neck does that I really like is you're rotating and you can adjust the resistance on the rotation. So you have this halo, you put it on your head, you pump it like a Reebok pump, and if like form fits to your head, you put a chin strap on, and then you back up. And so it's got a bungee cord, so a very stiff rubber cord. And as you're pulling back, you have a lot of resistance this way. And then you could rotate, and then on the rotation, you can adjust the resistance. You can make it more difficult. But you're never doing any of this stuff. And I think this stuff is where, at least from what I've seen, people get hurt. Especially neck bridges. Neck bridges where your whole body...
Oh, I can imagine.
And you're doing all this and you're rolling... Like Tyson, you ever seen Tyson's neck bridge routine when he was younger?
No.
Well, Tyson had a 20-inch neck.
Yeah.
20 inches. You know how crazy that is? His neck would start at the top of his head. When he was young, I mean, he had a fucking massive neck.
Yeah.
But it's one of the reasons why he was also so good at taking a punch, because his head didn't snap around. Like, look at his neck when he was young. That neck is crazy, dude. That's
it's like
a crazy
parallel
neck.
with his head.
Yeah, like, see, look at it. This is what he would do every day in training.
Holy shit, that looks rough.
But this wrestler bridge does strengthen your neck, but at a cost. And I don't think it's at a cost for everybody. I think it probably can be done safely, but I think you probably have to scale up very slowly and very carefully and make sure that you have the supporting tissue and strength around that to not compromise your discs. You know, like when you're in these weird positions. Like, you're never supposed to have all, at least bridging with like 60% of your weight sideways on your neck like this, and then roll it over to the side, and then roll it over the side, while you're putting all the weight on the back of your head or on your forehead. That's just crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would. That looked fucking sketch, dude.
Yeah. Well, Mike had to get neck surgery. Yoel Romero, like I said, had his whole neck fused. His neck doesn't... Ever see him run?
No, but it probably looks hilarious.
Find the video of Yoel Romero sprinting. It's nuts. His neck doesn't move. It's like this. Like a robot.
Like a Terminator.
But it's also why Yoel can take crazy punishment. Like, Yoel got head kicked once by, I think it was Derek Brunson, head kicked him, and he didn't even move. Like, look at him run. So his neck doesn't move. His entire neck is completely fused. And he has this giant scar on the back of his neck. He is a freak, though, dude.
Did you ever get the impression that if he just like threw himself into the fire more in fights, he probably would have won a lot more?
I don't know. I don't know if you can keep that kind of muscle mass and have the kind of cardio that you need to throw yourself into the fire more.
Because it was kind of hard to tell if he was gassed sometimes.
Right.
And then he would all of a sudden burst out.
Exactly.
Like that Costa Romero fight is still to this day one of my favorite fights ever. And I don't know, man. Like a lot of the Romero fights, it seems like if he just started swinging and going in there, that he might be able to take out a lot of dudes that he just let go to decision.